We have a shocking Flames free agency update, and this is big as the Flames have recently been rumored to go after some of the big dogs like Mitch, Marner, and Sam Bennett, but according to NHL Insider Frank Seravalli, the Flames will play it a little more strategically. So, what is Craig Conroy going to do come July? We're going to get into all that and more in this video, but first I want to welcome you to Flames Digest. I'm Mark Griffith. If you're new around here and you love the Flames, make sure you subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the latest news, updates, reports, and rumors revolving around your Calgary Flames. We would love to welcome you to the Flames Digest family. Oh baby, we're back and we have a free agency update to go over. So like I said in the intro, the most recent reports have been, look, the Flames have a lot of cap space. They have a lot of room to maneuver as a team who did surprisingly well last year. Maybe they'll want to add a big dog so that they can make the playoffs next year. Maybe they'll go after Mitch Marner. Maybe they'll go after Sam Bennett, Ehlers, and more. But now it seems like maybe we have a bit of a different update. And this is going to come in the form of an article by Ryan Pike here. Absolutely phenomenal Flames figure, I guess we can call him. But it is going out off of what Frank Seravalli said. So Flames likely to be dabblers in NHL free agency, a report from Seravalli. And as you can see, there were a lot of comments on this article. I'm going to show you a couple of them a little bit later. But interesting here that the Flames, when it comes to dabblers, that doesn't really mean you're going to be, the big splashers in a way. Very different. I think it'll be kind of similar, going off of just the word dabblers alone, kind of similar to what they did last free agency, where in no way were they big spenders, but they did add, a couple names like Anthony Mantha. Maybe they'll do a little bit more this summer, but of course we'll just have to wait and see in about a month and a half. So the month of May is starting to widen down, meaning that the NHL draft in June and the opening of free agency on July 1st will soon be upon us. Over at Sportsnet 960, The Fan, Pat Steinberg chatted with Daily Faceoff's Frank Seravalli on Tuesday afternoon's edition of Flames Talk. So yes, that's quite a while ago now. And a main topic of conversation is what the Calgary Flames may do in free agency. According to Seravalli, the Flames are likely to be dabblers in the market. Here is the quote from Frank himself. I would characterize the Flames as dabblers, a team that will definitely be paying attention to the market. I don't think they will be diving in headfirst at 1 o'clock noon Eastern time, but I think a team that will certainly be monitoring it and looking to find some value if they can. It's such an expensive proposition, but find a way to maybe add some goals to this lineup is certainly going to be the thought process, which is funny because that's kind of what they did last free agency in adding Anthony Mantha, of course getting hurt after just a handful of games. Seravalli added that he doesn't think the Flames will be looking to add anyone with a ton of term, but will instead be looking to find players that can add to their group. So interesting. Again, you'd think guys like Marner and Bennett and stuff would definitely come with term and a hefty price tag, but that is not the case. Just guys that can help now for kind of the immediate future. Steinberg noted that he doesn't think the Flames will make as many signings as they did a year ago. Very interesting as well, as they want to avoid creating a situation where young players are blocked from having a shot at roster spots. I think the next step for them is really wanting to see these young players take that step and make a push in training camp, said Steinberg. And that is honestly great to hear. I hope Steinberg is correct. We really want to develop some of the younger guys. It still boggles my mind that there was a time last season where Coronato was in the AHL. It just makes no sense. You don't want to block guys like that from their path to full development and becoming everyday NHLers and making a difference for this team, especially offensively. And while Seravalli agreed with Steinberg's notion that the Flames don't have a ton of pressing business in the trade market, obviously depending on what happens with Rasmus Andersson's future, of course a key of this entire offseason, Seravalli did add a bit of an asterisk on that note. He said, I think they're a bit of a wild card in the sense that if the Flames are going to be a super aggressive in one department this summer, it's probably not going to be free agency, said Seravalli. Interesting again. My guess is it's probably not going to be an offer sheet, that it would probably be in trying to make a deal. So the Flames won't be the big dogs in free agency. They might not make an offer sheet like has been rumored like crazy, but more so a trade. Interesting overall. At present, based on evolving hockey's contract forecasts and Puckpedia's contract data, we're projecting that the Flames have about $17 million available for a goaltender, a defenseman, and 2 forwards. That affords them a ton of salary cap flexibility moving forward. And that's just a way of, Ryan Pike to kind of conclude his article here in saying that the Flames can definitely make a deal because of all of this cap space. And they could add, I guess, those positions, which is very interesting. The Flames definitely need to add, some scoring for sure in terms of forwards. Maybe another defensive defenseman, as obviously Ball still doesn't have his contract. They'll have to sign him. But overall, very interesting to note that, hey, the Flames might not be the ones going after these big guys, even though they have the cap space. They'll be more so dabblers, and maybe we'll have to keep an eye more so on the trade front moving into July, which is honestly very interesting and kind of similar, I guess, to what happened last year, of course, with the Jacob Markstrom and Andrew Mangiapane trades. But a couple comments from this article I thought were interesting. So Skylar said, "That sounds promising. I have no problem with dabbling and short-term deals. Saying they'll save space for prospects to crack the lineup is also promising." Couldn't agree more. The biggest UFA signing they absolutely can't make is Raz. I mean, that wouldn't be until the following summer anyway. But that has to be a trade made by March. Signing him is the equivalent of getting an overpriced UFA this summer. And that's a little bit harsh, but it's a reasonable way to look at this summer for the Flames. So great comment there. The other one to look at here comes from Sturls. They said, Conroy, no free agent signings on the wing or D unless you trade Andersson and sign a top 4 guy to a short contract. Interesting. Don't force the prospects to earn it by knocking off a vet. Let them compete against each other and give the best of the group a long-term opportunity with the team where they can face some adversity in the NHL. Another reasonable way to look at things. I can stomach a 4C short-term signing if it is needed, but would prefer to see one of our guys fill the spot in some manner. And I agree. It's like, how we had Kevin Rooney last year. We probably won't have Kevin Rooney this upcoming season, and why not try out some of those guys who came from the Wranglers this year and give them more of an opportunity? Guys like Cairns, who were unbelievable last year with the Wranglers. So it really does make sense overall, and I liked those comments. There's your free agency update. I mean, take of it what you will, but it's promising is a great word from that last comment we saw, and of course, we'll always let Conroy cook. Now the second chapter of this video is a bit of a story time, and it comes from the recent trip I was actually just on. For those who don't know, I was just recently in good old Toronto. And when I was in Toronto, I went to a dinner. I went to a restaurant in beautiful downtown Toronto. Who did I run into? But Morgan Frost, just eating a meal with his family, I believe. Went up to him, said hi, essentially. Didn't say anything about the channel, but told him that Conroy needs to give him a nice contract, and he had a chuckle. So essentially, Morgan Frost and I are now best friends, but I just wanted to share that with you guys because I've now met quite a few of the Flames on our current team and former team, and they're all such great guys, which is just great to know that, we are just always supporting and falling in love with these guys who genuinely are great people. Morgan, if you're watching, was phenomenal meeting you, but I just wanted to share that with you guys as a little anecdote from our boys in red. Now let's wrap up this video with the comment of the day, as we love to do here on the channel. It comes from the most recent video, and it comes from Lawrence. Now, Lawrence said, if the Flames are going to spend the $14 million that Marner is said to be after, I would like to see a couple of young guns with at least one being a center obtained. As for Bennett, wouldn't mind obtaining him, but not overpaying for his service, possibly $6.5 million at most. And that is not going to be enough to sign Bennett. There's apparently a rumor of one team has offered $10 million, which is kind of insane for a player whose career high isn't all that much. I do really like Sam Bennett. Don't love him right now, but we're not getting Bennett at that price. Don't think he'd want to come here. And Marner as well. It doesn't fit our plans really, especially at the price tag, but apparently another rumor, I guess, is that Marner does not want to sign in Canada. He wants to play for an American team, which is interesting coming from a Canadian. We'll have to see if that really does pan out. But overall, very interesting. Kind of seems like Marner and Bennett aren't the way to go, but I'm sure there will be more rumors linking the Flames to those guys as the offseason progresses. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe like you saw here today and have a wonderful rest of your day.